Dear brothers and sisters, today we started talking about the concept of ibadah, the worship for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This concept is so important because it is the goal of our existence on this earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created the jinn and or ins except that they should worship me, which means that I created them to command them to worship me. Worship, this terminology in Arabic, includes three main feelings that should exist in the heart of the person who is worshiping. Number one, extreme love. Number two, extreme humbleness and submission to the one that you love. If somebody humbles himself to someone and follows his commandments, but he does not love him, this is not ibadah. Many people are afraid of certain tyrants and they have to follow what they are saying, otherwise they get killed or tortured. This is not ibadah. Ibadah has to include complete love and conviction that you feel this entity that you are worshipping deserves your complete love, the love that nothing supersedes it. And that you want to do all you can to please it. And that you want to follow what pleases it and avoid what would be a cause of displeasure for the entity that you're worshipping. This is the general definition of ibadah. Regardless of who you are worshipping, this is the meaning of ibadah. One of the major scholars of Islam, Ibn Taymiyyah, defines it as that it is a term that includes all the actions and sayings, the internal and external, mean in the heart or on your tongue or through your limbs and your powers and your faculties. All the actions and the sayings internally and externally that may come from you that are pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the meaning of the worship of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us and has sent down certain prohibitions and commandments through His messengers in His books. Also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are subject to His actions and doings through His qadr, His decree. We are born in this life without a choice. None of us was asked whether he wanted to come to this life or not. None of us was asked to which family he should be born, what color, should he be healthy, should he be intelligent or not intelligent. You don't choose anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in you. And this is a sign for everybody, Muslim and non-Muslim, that they are slaves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that there's a creator above them in total control of every single atom in them, internal or external. We ourselves, we don't know what's inside us. We don't know what's inside us. Even people who study medicine, they don't know the exact and complete details of every single function and every single chemical reaction in our bodies. Even you move your arm or your leg, you don't know which muscles are moving because you are not in control. There is a creator who controls you. وَلَهُ أَسْلَمَ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ طَوْعًا وَكَرْهًا وَإِلَيْهِ يُرْجَعُونَ. Allah says, to Allah has submitted everyone in the heavens and earth, whether they like it or not. So the kuffar are ibad and slaves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from that perspective as well. And that is why basically we are commanded to live our lives in harmony with this concept, that us and all the creation of Allah is subject to the complete control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are slaves of Allah by nature. And everything in the universe also are slaves and under total control from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically Allah gave us a very small and minute window of choice and free will. It's very small, really. The free will in our life, if you put a percentage of the free will compared to everything else that comes from you and everything else that's within you, it's a very small percentage. So let's give it a percentage. Let's say it is 10% of your whole entity or existence, this free will. But the rest is out of your control. Even the free will sometimes You want to do something by free will, and Allah will prevent you. He will not allow you to do it. If it was good, you will get rewarded still, because you are tested in your will, what's in your heart. You want to go for Hajj, for instance, and may Allah forbid, something happens. You get sick, you can't go, or you couldn't collect the money, you still get the reward. You still get the reward. Now, you get the reward, but if you actually physically went, you get more than that. If you are prevented by sickness, you actually get the full reward. Astaghfirullah. Yes, you get the full reward. If you had the firm intention and you got sick, yes, you get the full reward. But if you have the intention, you don't take any action, yes, you get one hasana, you don't get the full reward. That is the difference. But anyhow, you are required to be a abd and true slave of Allah, to direct this small percentage of free will that's in your hand to go in harmony with your total existence, which is under the total control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even that free will, Allah has given us so much space of halal within it. It's not all do and don't do. Out of the 24 hours where you have total control of the free will in your day, you're not supposed to get up every minute and pray. It's not required of you. Correct? You're not supposed to get up every 5 minutes and read Quran. It's not an obligation. Yes, if you did it, you get more reward, but it's not an obligation. There are certain things, certain commandments Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made an obligation on you. For subhanAllah, even the free will part, Allah has given us so much space to enjoy our life in. But when it comes to do and don't do, then we have to listen. Otherwise, we have basically gone against the basic reason for our existence in this life. And that is why people who don't submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all, like kuffar, they don't even want to acknowledge His existence, totally deserve this horrible ending in the fire of hell. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who brought them to life. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم ثم إليه ترجعون. How can you disbelieve in this creator who brought you out of non-existence? وَكُنْتُمْ أَمْوَاتًا. You were not even there and He brought you here. ثُمَّ يُمِيتُكُمْ. And then He will take your life, and you see this in front of your own eyes. Nobody has a belief that he won't die. Even you ask the worst of the kuffar, the worst of the tyrants and the kuffar, they still know that they are going to die. But their minds are so messed up that they don't know what's going to happen to them after death. And that's not injustice to them by Allah, because they had the free will to learn something about the purpose of this life. They could have learned, and they've been given the choice. أَوَلَمْ نُعَمِّرْكُمْ مَا يَتَذَكَّرُ فِيهِ مَنْ تَذَكَّرْ وَجَاءَكُمُ النَّذِيرُ فَذُوقُوا فَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ مِنْ نَصِيرٍ. Allah will say to such people on the day of judgment, did I not give you enough chance to live? نُعَمِّرْكُمْ, give you umr, give you an age, sometimes 80 years and 90 years. مَا يَتَذَكَّرُ فِيهِ مَنْ تَذَكَّرْ. I've given you enough chance that many other people had enough chance during their lifetime to remember me and to follow my commandments. So how come you didn't? Now,